Hello everyone, welcome to Overcharging Plasma Gaming. We are here with a pre-tournament hosts chat with the hosts that are going down. That is Mary and Innis. Innis is of course running the thing, so he doesn't have much choice.
Yep, I am forced to go.
You are forced to go. Oh, the hardships you go through. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep it casual, keep it chill as per last time. Sorry we didn't get a post OPG GT chat, but life got in the way as it always does. Hopefully we can do a post CGG GT chat. I know it's gonna get this is already confusing me. In next week for you all and see how we feel about how we did. So as I shoo a fly away from me, Nurgle's already here. We're gonna kick it off with kind of what our goals are for this event, and this is a 40-player singles event using the WTC20 scoring system. I'm bringing Drakari again. I've made some refinements to my list. Off of how I performed at the OPG GT. And I looked at my points and I got 72 points overall in the 20 system, and I want to break that 80-point barrier. So that's my goal. Just whatever placing I get, I want to get above 80 points.
At the last event, which was Callum Games the OPG GT that Chris ran, 80 points would have given you second place. So Chris is aiming high.
I'm aiming high because I'm not running this one, so there's significantly less stress on me this time. Maddie, you're back. I was going to pass it to you next, but you suddenly stood up. So Maddie,
no, sorry, those boys outside shouting stuff. I better close the windows now so you don't hear them. Nobody wants to hear what people from our growth have to say. I can tell you that much.
Good you.
So what are you bringing? And just briefly, we'll get into your list later when we go through our round one. And what's your expectations?
So my list, I'm bringing Custodes this time. Going back to the roots. Essentially, I just want to do a bit more practice for teams. I've got a couple of team events coming up. So the two armies I'm going to play for that is either Custodes. So I've not played Custodes recently, so 6 games should be enough that I can get a bit more feel for them, how they feel in the current meta. So that's the thought process anyway. So I was going to say I was wanting to go 3 for 3, but I did that last time, so I always have to look to improve. So I need to go 4-2 now.
4-2,
which is a bit of a nightmare.
Believe in you. You got 2 Talamons, right? So 1 loss for every Talamon.
That's the issue. I've only got 2. I'm missing that third one just to make the list unstoppable.
Yeah, only Duncan was brave enough to bring 3.
Yeah, I'm not that boring. I'm not bringing 3. 3 sit my deployments and don't do anything. Yeah. So that's my goal. The main goal, though, is not so much how many win, it's I want to basically be able to predict my score. So I want to be able to get roughly accurate with my scores, and then when I lose, I don't want to lose by more than 3 victory points. So a 7-point loss is what I want as a minimum. It's what I want to start working towards. So that way, if there are, because I've got a lot of bad matchups with my list, in the hope that I'll get to face them. So hopefully that way I can play against it and be able to not get absolute 0-20'd. That's what the goal is, not to get 0-20'd.
Just don't play any AdMac, man, you'll be fine.
What the one at the event? I think his odds of dodging that is pretty good.
It's terrifying. You don't want to play into it.
And they won't time out every single game as well.
I brought the clock just in case, don't worry.
Innis, your hope for the event, obviously we know what that already is. And also, what are you bringing?
My hope for the event is that everybody at the event that I'm running has a really good time and doesn't beat me. So there's kind of that tension of running the event but also trying to win it. Thankfully, PCP does almost all the heavy lifting for me, so I don't actually have to interact with anything behind the scenes. So yeah, obviously going to be trying to go for the win. There's no prizes involved with that because I'm running the event, so that'll get kicked down. But still got to go for that big win, get those ITC points, get those Scotland points especially, and prove that Be'lakor can do some cool things. So I am running a Be'lakor and Death Guard list. So I've got like Be'lakor, the Super Lord of Change, and then 3 Plague Bird Crawlers and some Volca Contemptors, and then Chaff is pretty much the gist of it. Very much one-dimensional list. I'm not going to pretend it's super involved and difficult to play.
Yeah, so that sounds good. Hopefully, we all achieve our goals. It'll be nice to walk away with those feathers in our caps. So our round ones have been drawn today about 2.5 hours ago. after Innis was done checking over the lists. The first one is Battle Lines. That's mission 22 in the 2021 GT pack. How are we feeling about that mission, just in general, before we go into things? Do we like that mission for our armies, or are we not too keen on it?
Alliance is
Do this deck and I'll tell you.
right in the middle.
Matty needs to look up Battle Lines. Yeah, so...
oh, no, I hate Battle Lines. Battle Lines is the worst. I think every time I play against you guys, I get 0-20'd. I go too ham to start with and get blown off the table. It's my issue. I don't play it very well.
Yeah, it's a weird one where your army kind of splits into two forces to try and contest the two objectives in the middle, and then hopefully meets up at the other side. Or you send a unit to one side and just absolutely annihilate the other. There's various ways of doing it. It's kind of a interesting one. It's also like kind of non-conducive to holding your home base objective. That's what I feel is like one of those ones where you're not guaranteed to hold that behind obscuring terrain. You need a bodyguard or something like that to help you out with there. So we're going to start off with Matty's round one. So Matty, go through your army list in a bit more detail. If you could, kind of highlight the interesting parts of it. Same for your opponent.
Certainly. So I've got my Shadowbringers, because if you're playing Custodes, that's all you play. Shadow Keepers, rather. I've got double Telemon, as Innis pointed out earlier. I've also got 2 units of 5 Fenatari, so that's the jump pack units of Custodes. So they're pretty good. They've got pistols, 2 shots each, 18-inch range. Strength 6 -2 to AP, and they've got exploding 6s. And I've got a few other strats on top of that, so like double the amount of shots they chuck out. I can auto-win down 6s while still generating additional attacks. All in all, they're a pretty good unit. They do a lot of work, and that's kind of the hope, is that they can be my fast unit to go off, get sort of engaged if I need it, rod if I don't, and pop out some damage in the turns I need to. Because they're pretty resilient as well, 2 up 4, toughness 5.
Yeah. And
with all the custodian buffs you can put on top of them as well.
3 wins each, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll take a bit to chew through, and you're playing into which army?
Playing into Sisters. So I'm playing against Jonathan, I'm trying to think of his last name, Robertson. He is running a whole army of Valor's Heart. So I had 1 battalion of that. I was trying to make them a bit more tanky, see how long I can go. He's instead went for the efficient gun line. So they've got the strat that they can ignore hit modifiers and weapons and ballistic skill modifiers. Is what they do, I'm sure. Which isn't the best for me, seeing as I make their guns -1 strength. So essentially it does nothing against my army. I also didn't bring the banner for -1 to hit.
I was about to ask if you brought the banner, but you didn't.
No, I think there'll be enough woods on the maps if we're using WC terrain and board styles that hopefully there's enough woods about that I don't need it, because most people might be shooting through them anyway.
Those Paragons he's got are pretty nasty for your Venatari though, right? That's not the damage profile they want to be shooting into.
That is not, no. But again, they've got other things to shoot at, they just don't shoot them, that's the key.
Toughness 5, -1 to your AP and your damage.
I've got a Dreadnought for that, it's fine. I've got a flat 4 damage Dreadnought, that's all they need to do.
Great, their -1 damage will love that.
Exactly, I just rolled 6s for the damage, turns to 5, just kill them 1 if you hit. You're not thinking how to roll.
They're flat 4.
No, I've got the Achilles Dreadnought.
Oh, you've got the Achilles for a D3 plus 3.
Yeah, it's the D3 plus 3. So again, he's strength 14, so hitting on 2's
He
wounded
dies
on 2's.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in Deep Strike though. Can't be sure if he's in Deep Strike.
I'm liking your plan here, Matty. You'll just be better than him.
Just roll better. You don't need to be better. Just roll better. I'm playing Custodians.
No,
just roll 4 up so you can do what you want.
Does he have Val? Does he have Celestine? What's he running character
wise? He's got anti-foul. Because he did bring them. He's like the first person, I think, in the Scottish event to actually bring anti-foul at this point. He's got anti-foul. He's got a single unit of Ret Beaters, so they've all got melters. He's got a Repentia unit that's a full 10-man squad, with 10-girl squad. He's got a bunch of Zephyrin and Seraphim, as well as some Sacrosants. And then the final piece to that is that Innis said before, he's got the Paragon Warship, so he's got 3 of them, all with multi-melters, and they've also got the Warblade.
Is it Dominions, the Mortar Wound Stormboarders? Does he have those, or...?
Yeah, he's got 1 squad of them. He also has a 20-man sister squad.
It's 15. 15.
It's only 15? Oh, I seen the 15 then times 4 after that and just did the old way of assuming it was up to 20. So he's got a 15 squad of them anyway. And Yeah, so it's quite good. Again, they can be transhuman. They're ignoring AP1, and my whole army, most of the range that'll be shooting into them is either AP2 or -1. So that's actually a good trait against my army. It's quite a good matchup for that. But then, again, once I get into melee, I think that's when it might start being another story. Because he's not got the biggest melee threats in this army that most sisters have.
Yeah.
So hopefully, again, he's at max strength 6, I believe, with one of his units in melee. Bar the Paragon Warsuits, that's strength 8, I believe. So even that with my Shadow Keeper's -1 strength, he'll still be wounding me on 5s with no rerolls at all. It should be quite good if I get into melee with him. I think that'll just block out a lot of his strength.
So your plan is to walk up the board in a big blob and go, hello.
Yeah, it's basically say, hello, I'm Custodes, watch me roll 2 up 4 up saves all day. And then tag him, and then when he tries to run away, roll a 6 on Tanglefoot so he can't move.
Easy.
Let's roll 6s, 5-head.
You don't even need to roll 6 for Tanglefoot, a 5, and they're still within an inch if you base them.
So
that's like twice as more efficient.
So you're not a fan of the mission, but are you a fan of the matchup?
Fan of the matchup, yes. I think it'll be quite a good game for me.
Yeah. So a good tight game is kind of what you're expecting. That's
what I'm expecting, yeah. Even if he's wanting to go for the sort of the 9-inch charges when he comes up with Deep Strike using this Miracle Dice, I've still got Tanglefoot sitting there.
Yeah.
I can also still Obsec Scan when he comes down, and I should have enough shooting with all my units hitting on 3s that it should hopefully not make a difference. Like I can blow it off the table before it does any damage.
Innis.
So again, he's got like 2 threats. Apart from that, should be fine.
Yeah.
That's me.
Innis, how are you feeling about your run 1?
Horrible. This is not good.
No, you were grudged, weren't you?
I was grudged. So I've been grudged by Dave Human, who is a notorious MSU Bulls crap player. So he has got like all of if you can think of a sisters model that you could cram in a list to be really, really there and annoying. He's got it, all of it. So he's got like 3 squads of death, 3 squads of Death Cult Assassins, 2 squads of Crusaders, bunch of little 5-man sister squads. Nothing nasty, just all around, everywhere, all the time. So much of it, and I don't have that much stuff that does more than one thing a turn. So like the Plagueverse Crawler's got really good at killing the Rhino in his list, and then it's going to shoot like 3 slightly better bolter shots and 2 las cannon shots at 5 dudes, and we're going to do that a whole bunch. So we're going to be leaning really heavy on the Volkite Contemptors to pick up as much stuff as possible here. But I don't have like huge amounts of damage output. Like I don't have Tollkeeper or anything like that to get them going. So just to run through my list quickly, I am running 3 detachments. It is a mixed chaos list, so I have the Lord of Change with the Impossible Robe, the -1 damage, so that's 3 up and bottom will save -1 damage, 6 up Feel No Pain from its Exalted trait, and then a Baleful Sword, so he's got the strength 7. And then I have a squad of Nurglings, a squad of 10 Horrors, 2 blues and 8 pink, and 8 brims. I have a squad of Nurglings, 2 squads of Nurgle Furies, and Epidemius in that detachment. Then we got Be'lakor and 10 Demonettes in another patrol, which gives Be'lakor advance in charge, which is real nice. And then the final detachment is Death Guard. We have got a Lord of Virulence with the +1 strength and reroll shots on his gun, 2 Volkite Contemptors, 2, and then 3 Plagueverse Crawlers. The meat of the list is the Plagueverse Crawlers. So it's a bunch of stuff that gets buffed up by Epidemius. Be'lakor and the Plagueverse Crawlers go up to toughness 8 and 9 respectively. Get you some nice reroll 1s on the Chris's face there. Get you that reroll 1s to hit on the Volkite Contemptors, or not the Volkite, on the Plagueverse Crawlers after you kill 2 units with Nurgle Demons. You get the Furies get up to the point where they can actually like go down and face things with like 15 strength 4 attacks, strength 5 attacks. So yeah, it's a little moving pieces. 4 command points starting is the vaguely terrifying bit of that. It's like you don't all this cool stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. That also 4 command points. Oh fuck.
If only you were Dark Eldar, all of those attachments could have been free.
I know, right? Well, I'm running a Spearhead at 2 patrols, so only 2 of them.
Yeah, maybe not.
I'd have to swap out for like a squad of Plague Marines, but that doesn't really sound very promising. So yeah, Dave's got like 22 Repentia. He's got the Miracle Dice ability that turns off invulnerable saves in a 1 to 6 inch bubble. Not good for Be'lakor. Do you know what Be'lakor's armor save is, Chris?
It's at 7.
No, it's 6. So
okay.
I will get one against his Valorous Heart stuff in combat. I would get a 6 up save. The Repentia aren't Valorous Heart. So it's going to be a nasty game. I don't have a lot of stuff that does good scoring. I don't have a lot of stuff that deals with MSU garbage really well. So it'll be an interesting game. I'm not predicting a high score, even if I do take this one out, but it should be interesting nonetheless.
We were talking about your lists prior to the event, and you're asking, like, is it Lord of Change or two Flesh Moors should I go for? And I convinced you to go to go for this.
The Flesh Wars would have been way better in this
I
game.
was going to say, you would be hating
Like
right now.
so much better.
They would just be happy little Flesh Moor noises.
You could just run around munching things up. Oh, yep, nope, that's dead. Oh, that's dead. Now all our epidemius tallies are bigger, and we're tougher than 8 and have 15 attacks. No, run a Lord of Change in this. It'll be fine. Run the Lord of Change. He's really good into other games.
To be fair, I wasn't aware you had a grudge when I said that, so.
It is what it is. Should have played Ultramarines.
Yeah, no. If in doubt,
No, you shouldn't have.
just play Smurf.
You'd have loved it, Matt. You'd have loved it if I was playing Ultramarines tomorrow for our practice game.
Relic Contended Dreadnoughts can stay home where they belong.
Oh, we still got some of them, so apologies for that.
So I see what happens when a Bellicor charges a Telemon.
I use Slayer Nightmares to get +1 to wound, so I can still wound you on 2s.
Both of you just you'll still be alive.
You're not going to be alive.
Bellicor ignores infant in combat.
I know, but he's also missing the fact that I've Tangle Food him, so he's failed his charge. We're all good. With Innis List rolling charges, he can't do it.
Fly.
You can't tangle foot the things that fly.
I forgot he's got fly. He's got holes in his wing, doesn't he? He can't fly.
Yeah. No, he's not Scarbrand.
Manny, just
holes in the wings, doesn't fly. I've got a degree in aircraft engineering. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me, he can't fly.
Just overwatch him. Come on, it'll be easy. So into my run, I have got Ryan Cook, who's playing his Astra Militarum, which should be an interesting game. As I think it'll be a big bloodbath personally. So just to run you through my list real quick, it's 3 patrols because Drew Carey. We've got Black Heart with Drazar, who's a warlord, 5 cabinet wars with a blaster, 2 units of Incubi. Then I've got 4 raiders. One of them has Grizzly trophies and a shock prow. Obsidian Rose patrol. I've got an Archon with a blast pistol, the Gem Blade, and Ancient Evil. They're running with a court as well, so 2 assists, 2 Argo, just a small court this time. I felt the big court was a bit of a point sink, and I felt that teching for To the Last so heavily really dictated my playstyle as an army, and it gave me one trick. I did that trick very, very well, but I wanted other tricks. That's why I made that change. I've still got the Trueborn in there for Obsidian Rose, 2 more Blaster Warrior units, another Incubi, another Mandrake. Sorry, 1 Mandrake. A Raider with Splinter Racks, and then Cult of Strife Patrol with the Trippy Whippy Sucky Bissy. 10 Witches with Grave Lotus, Razor Flail, and Morven's Agonizer. I brought that in because I was worried about more AdMech being here, and now there's one AdMech being here. So
good versus stuff. It's not just AdMech.
It's good not stuff like if I get into a unit of guard in this game, I'm gonna be so happy. Just like, hi, you can't fall back.
There's everything in it. It's just like, no, you get to stay there. Just stay.
Yeah. And then I'm also running 10 more Witches with a Shard Net and Grave Lotus as well. And then 2 times 9 Hellions with Adrenaline Light. So a couple of changes. So bigger Hellion blobs, not using random drugs on the Witches, 2 units of Witches as well, 1 less Trueborn. So just shifting points around, more melee, same amount of shooting, more or less.
I noticed you're on MSU bullshit as well. That Flesh Moors would have been way better into.
I wasn't trying to tech for me. Believe me. I know if I start going to you, I'm screwed. So Ryan is running a battalion of custom Astra Militarum with 18-inch rapid fire, and if they don't advance, they count as in cover as their custom traits. 3 company commanders. One of them is a warlord, no warlord trait. 6 infantry squads with a plasma gun in it. I am loving the amount of plasma guns in this list. It's singing to my heart. An Astropath with Psychic Barrier. 8 Bullgrins with 4 Stab Shield and 4 Brute Shield. 4 command squads with 3 command squads with 4 plasma guns in. And then into the 2nd battalion we have it's extra dice on the number of shots and spoiler details, which I forget what it does. It's like
reroll shots and +6 range.
That's it. Yeah, reroll shots and +6 range. Tank commanders with demolisher cannons, so 3 of them. 2 Tempestus Scions with a plasma pistol in it. A regular infantry squad, and then 2 Manticores with full payload. So I think, is it fair to say this is
a lot of guns?
It's a lot of guns. Is it a fairly standard Imperial Guard list at this age?
What does a guard list look like nowadays? I don't know what guard do. It's got more tank commanders than I think is normal, and slightly less guardsmen.
Yeah.
Like I think the normals, like you go up to like the 120, or you run a big squad of conscripts just for Yankee. But it's fairly normal. It's all the good stuff in guard.
Those Manticores are going to be very, very, very harsh into my Hellions. I might have to pay the CP to reserve them. Into the Raiders, I'm less concerned about, because like that's what they're there to do. They're there to absorb that firepower, but I don't want them shooting into my Raiders or into the court from using bodyguard stuff. So the Manticores are probably getting number 1.
It doesn't want those Manticores shooting him at all, generally.
Yeah. If I can get like just like some random unit tagging it turn 1, that would be hilarious.
So that would have been my worst nightmare list. I'm really glad I'm not playing that, because Vengeance for Arcadia is not fun.
Yeah, it's really not fun for
the best strat.
What was it like?
No.
To hit and wound.
Not as bad as the Great Enemy, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I was expecting an absolute bloodbath in the middle. I was expecting to go into the middle, fight him. I was expecting him to come in the middle, fight me, and
I'm expecting like a 15 primary out of Chris this game.
Yeah, my plan is to go, hello, I am Dark Eldar, I'm in your face, and it's turn 2.
Yep, and then all of Chris's stuff is going to die, and there's still going to be guardsmen there, because I believe in you, Ryan. Take down the Drakari menace.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great game. I think I've played Ryan on TTS a couple times. I don't think I've gotten a game on the tabletop with him, so it's going to be a really good round 1. I'm going to enjoy it. Also, one thing to note about is this: he gives up like 22 assassinate points. I'm like, which just made me chuckle.
You're gonna get like 3 of them.
I know. That's the worst part. It's like this massive bait. But yeah,
it's 22 assassinate and 22 units. It's like, yeah, come and kill the tank commanders, man. You've totally got time to do that. You absolutely.
Yeah, no, I definitely have time to kill the tank managers.
We could be putting Dark Lances into single Marines just to get them off an objective, mate. Or into single guard just to get them off objectives.
I can't wait for you to do that, Chris. That's going to make my day. What you do with your Raider? Shoot this Dark Lance and shoot this one guardsman off this objective.
I need him gone because I need obs.
That's what I'm wanting.
Just as one sergeant.
The Obsidian Rose guy will go in and roll a 2 to hit and then re-roll it and fail with a CP. It'll be glorious. I believe in guardsman supremacy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun game. So I think no one really has a walkaway turn 1 like run 1. No one's really got like a run 1 which is like this is a 20-0. It's gonna be.
It will be. I'm gonna get absolutely hammered.
You're just not gonna have fun doing it.
It's gonna be great. I'm gonna stand Bellicor and they're gonna change too close together. They're both gonna get put in Miracle Dice range of no invols, and they're both gonna die in half a turn. It'll be great. I believe.
Like fun. So into our last kind of topic, which is like I've asked everyone to pick out a list to talk about it, and
ask me to do that.
It was in the group chat.
Okay,
I was asked 5 minutes ago. I've got this.
You know I don't read that.
I was going to go to Innis first, but it sounds like Innis might need a bit of time.
Yeah, I'm going to need a minute. I'm reading another article, like...
He's busy writing his next Goonhammer article. That's what he's currently doing.
Maddie, how about you kick us off again?
Certainly. So I'm going to pick something that I played quite a lot on TTS. I played him a lot through the leagues. It's Adam Skinner. So he is running Harlequins and Craft Worlds, which I thought was quite interesting in the Craft World detachment that he's added. So he's got a pretty standard Harlequin list. He's got the old Shadow Seer that's going to make you minus range on your weapons, which is always good. With the 2 pivotal rolls, he's got the -1 to wound on infantry as well. He's got a whole bunch of troops with fusion pistols. He's got 5 of them in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do basic maths, check me out. He's got 5 of them in all in boats. And then he's got the bike, so it's pretty standard. But the bit that I like about this is he's got just a patrol detachment, which he's got a single Spirit Seer, which has got Quicken and Restraint. 5 units of Dire Avengers, and then 2 units of Warp Spiders. So again, he's bringing them in just for actions, but I quite like it. I like this series with the double move as well. Anything movement related, I just like in any sort of list.
I think
that's why you're playing Custodes.
Yes, that's why because of all those fun rules.
Isn't the Spellseer the cheapest Psyker HQ, or is that Warlock? I can't remember. I think it's 55
yeah,
points.
I think so.
Like,
Warlock's the cheapest one, I think.
Yeah, but they're still like 55 points, which is like ridiculously cheap for a Psyker HQ. I think they only cast 1 power though, so it's like you're budgeted, but hey, that 1 power in Eldar gives you 2 powers. You know?
Yes, exactly. And did Eldar not have a strat anyway to cast another spell? Stratagem. Like the way Thousand Suns and stuff used to have.
For Farseers only, I want to say.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the Craftboard rules in a while, so comment below if you know better than me, which will be...
Nobody knows the rules, let's not pretend.
Alright, so you expecting that this to do quite well, Maddie, or just an interesting one?
I think he will do quite well because he's quite a good player. I played him a few times. He's always really keen on his movement. He's always pre-measuring, so he's got his head in the game. So I'll be curious just to know by the end of it how well that other patrol he's brought in.
Yeah.
If he feels it was worth it, or if it was literally just a case of they got me 10 points one game, or they got me 5 points in scrambles one game.
Yeah, I've been through a team event with Adam, and it was really good fun. He's a good player. He's got definitely has a head in the game. So I'm keen to see how he does with the Harlequins. I think I've got team events booked up with him next year as well, or something like that. I need to too many events in my head right now to really know for sure. Innis, are you ready, or do you know a few more minutes?
Sure. Let's go with Callum Purdy's list because it's a bit of fun. So Callum is playing an Emperor's Children pure list. He has got a Chaos Lord with the Rapacious Talent, which are like the demon weapon that you roll a d6 and you get that measure attacks, or the one you hit yourself and can't use them. Just really good high variance Chaos stuff there. And then he's also got the Flames of Spite Warlord trait, so anytime he rolls a 6 to wound, which is then if you pop Veterans +1, every 5 you roll to wound, you do a mortal wound as well. And then you can stack that with the Flawless Execution stratagem. So every time you kill a model in combat, you get an extra attack. So you roll that 5, they fail to save, you get 2 extra attacks. It's quite nice. It's a nice little combo. He blends through like an entire squad of Orc Boys by himself. It's hilarious to watch. He's got a Sorcerer with a standard Delightful Agony and Prescience, so they can swap out to Warp Time if he needs it. Dark Apostle with the Remnant of the Marvalia, which is the once per game instead of doing a litany. You get a rerolls to wound bubble 6 inches that lasts a battle round. He's got 2 Dark Disciples, which give him the 2+ for that, and they're also nice little active monkeys for 10 points. 3 squads of Chaos Cultists, a 10 of Noise Marines with Sonic Blasters, and an Icon of Excess. 3 Chaos Contemptor Dreadnoughts with Volkite and a Cyclone Missile Launcher each. Matty's face is dropping. Think of those.
Worst unit in the game, honestly.
Think of 3 of those. Like, 3 of those.
In the bin with
all of them can be in that reroll wounds bubble.
Fun, engaging.
2 squads.
Love these models.
2 squads of Chosen with 10 Lightning Claws. One has 9 Lightning Claws and a Starting Chainsword and Icon of Excess. Again, that's so Icons of Excess, just for those who aren't aware, is Death of the False Emperor triggers on 5s, but it's not +1 to the roll, it's just 5s, which means that it's stacked with Prescience to give you exploding 4s versus Imperium, which is also funny, especially if you've got that, every time you kill a model, get an extra attack. We've got 10 Terminators with, again, an Icon of Excess, 10 Combi Meltas, and 10 Lightning Claws. A single Chaos Spawn, and then 3 Dreadclaw drop pods newly upgraded to have Drop Pod Assault, so they can drop in turn 1 with those 10 Noise Marines and those 2 squads of Chosen, and then pop Honor the Prince on one of them, on one of the Dreadclaws to give it it is a 80 and 81 to hit their charge from Deep Strike, or you can use that on the Terminators on turn 2, or you can use it on one of the squads of Chosen they're popping out if they don't feel like hitting a 9. So Honor the Prince, for those unaware, is after you roll the charge, change one of the dice to a 6. Which you can do after you CP reroll. So you have to roll 4 1s and 2s if you're willing to sink 2 CP into it in order to fail.
Easy.
It's real good. I've heard of exactly one person failing it. It was quite funny.
Maddie, I don't know what you're worried about with all these with all those reroll wounds, because don't you have a stratagem which it turns off rerolls on your custodians?
Yeah, only on one target.
That's what I say. It's one target that he just picks the next Dreadnought and goes, cool, I'll do it because then we mortal wins to that other Dreadnought.
What he's going to do is he's going to go, alright, this Volkite Contemptor. 8 shots to that guy, 8 shots to that guy. Which one are you turning off rerolls and the other one's dead? Yeah. And then when he's done with that one and it still has guns left, then he'll start shooting the other one with no rerolls again.
I mean, Manny, just have one Dreadnought in range. Just simple.
I'll just kill them before they shoot me. It's fine.
And then run the math on Noise Marines sometime, guys. They are disgusting.
With
That's squad with
death.
I'm just talking about like the amount of you can jack up their damage output with stratagems. 3 shots a model, strength 4, no AP, ignores cover, damage 1. Spend a CP, strength 5, damage 2. Spend a CP, +1 to wound. Spend 2 CP, fire twice. To get the casual 60 shots at strength 5, damage 2, ignore cover, +1 to wound. From Deep Strike, turn 1.
Reasonable.
And then they shot on death as well. And they're actually okay in combat.
Yeah.
Because they have 2 attacks, and like they have 2 attacks based on like all the other in like Noise Marines and Thousands Rubric Marines who are 1 attack based.
Hateful Assault, the shock assault rule. So
yep,
3
so
attacks.
3 attacks each, yep. And then there's a 1 CP strategy of run 6 to wound their AP 4 as well.
Nice, I love it.
It's fine, they're ugly models, who cares?
You're an ugly model.
At least I'm a model, that's what I'm taking away from that comment right there. I'm taking
5 male models.
So, I'm going to pick out Ricky Lowe's White Scars. It's a different White Scars list of what I've seen. So the typical White Scars I've seen before is like, hey, I've got 3 units of Vanguard and 3 Relic Redemptors, I'm going to have fun with this.
Matty's just triggered the hell off right now.
and then you just like spend your points. I think you got like a unit of Blade Guard in there, and like you have.
You don't have elite slots after that. You're just adding characters.
Yeah. So this is going on a. So I think it's fair to say a different path. So it's a battalion of White Scars, Xaur Khan, a Librarian, Chief Librarian, with Puma the Plains Runner, Veil of Time, Might of Heroes, and Null Zone. He's also got to jump back. Then the Chaplain on Bike, Mass Giant, Wrath of Heavens, that's like the pseudo fly bike. Wise Orator, Shagorian Storm, Canticle of Hate, Mantra of Strength, so good old slap Chaplain. Just come around to slap you. 3 units of Assault Ancestors, a unit of 5 Blade Guard Veterans. Then this is the interesting bit for me. 2 Leviathan Dreadnoughts with the Volkite Nipple Guns, Grabfox Bombard, and the Siege Squad. That just to me is just amusing. Just White Scars, Dreadnoughts advancing up the battlefield, just punching people with their what would be damage 5.
That's what I say. They damage 4 base, then they go up to 5.
Yeah, so like 2 hits from that kills a raider. just chunk, just rips it apart. And then also because it is White Scars, there are 18 Vanguard veterans with Lightning Claws and the Relic Blade in each for the Sergeant, and Storm Shields. And then a Whirlwind, because I'm assuming Ricky had 135 points left over, didn't know what else to do with it. But it's quite good for like just getting the cheap old objective orders at the back, or like
that's what I say. Can't Whirlwinds not do the strat to reduce your movement now?
I think they can. I'm not sure about that. But
Fight last, I think, and something to do with advanced charging. I'm not
probably
sure.
half the advanced charges unless you can fly. But there's what I like about it is that how sometimes they just like leave behind like 5s. This is a battle in cover, holding their objective, and it's like I could kill that and like make them have to send something else back. It's like that is a bit to me like that's what I like with the outline side shooting. It's just having to make people cover their bases a bit more with their trying to come out. And so yeah, I'm keen to see how Ricky does with that. I've played Ricky before, and he's running Grey Knights last year, and that was a good game. So hopefully he does well.
He's a good lad. I would really like to get to play him, but we've promised that we'll only play on the top table, so he needs to do some good work turn 1. He's got Three Keepers of Secrets round 1, so
easy. The Leviathan Dreadnought runs in, Null Zone, go. Isn't that
you go cast Null Zone into a load of change. I don't think that's super likely.
In the Emperor we believe.
Just roll double 6 in this.
The Lord of Change just has to roll an 11 if you do that.
I don't think you want to roll.
There's also the small bit of town center. You roll a double 6 and they pop 2d3 mortal wounds on perils, and you go.
It's
no, because he rolls double 1, so it's fine.
Right, I'm loving Matty's school of thought here.
Your faith in the dice gods is far better than mine is, I think. Anyway,
yeah, I'm going to assume I'm going to roll double 1, not double 6s.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts before we close out?
This looks like it's going to be a fun event. There's also a 5 Admech Plains list. Screw you.
Yeah, triple patrol Admech. Who needs CP?
Who needs your opponent to have models? And he's got Drakari round 1, so they deserve each other.
Is it Simon?
No, he has Andy Lawrenson.
Okay. I would love to watch that game, just Simon into those planes.
I don't think anybody wants to watch the planes play. It's like just being sad all the time.
Maddie, any closing thoughts?
Just, you guys need to learn to roll better. This is what I've taken away from this call.
My closing
Right,
thought.
well, tell you what, when you beat me, you can make that claim.
I've almost done it a couple of times. By almost, I've been like lost by 6-point differential, but still, it's not the point.
My
I'm winning in here.
Is can we get a dice check on Matty's dice, please? Because clearly something is going on here.
That's very fair.
Anyway, if you're coming to the event, we will see you there. If you're not coming to the event, we will miss you. And good luck in your next tournament. And yeah, peace out. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Follow Innis on Twitter. Matty, do you have a social media to promote at all?
Follow Matty in real life.
Follow Matty.
I did Bebo. That's all I do.
Follow Matty
Keep it old school.
on MySpace. Alright, we'll catch you all later. Peace out.